So, you may wonder, wait a minute, didn't we record this last week? Yeah, if you didn't notice the video, when Chewy uploaded it, it turns out there was no audio.
Oh,
Yeah.
what the fuck? The image. What the fuck happened here? Give me 1 second.
Now Chewy has found a whole other issue.
There you go. That was weird.
Are we good?
You didn't see anything, viewers.
Okay. You know, the 8 viewers we have. Anyway, so
0
we are
viewers.
re-recording the latest episode of the ARPG podcast, and we will also record the first ever Zatsu. That first one doesn't exist.
Just a dog.
Yeah.
Just a dog watching us.
There was something that was announced today that I want to quickly cover before we get into the the 3-week review.
Okay.
Ancient Magnus Bride Season 2.
Oh.
So there's a lot of old shows getting it. Ancient Magnus Bride Season 1 was what, 2018? Let me check. Episodes, no, 2017. So it started fall 2017. And it was great. It's one of the most visually pleasing shows, but it's one of the shows that is, while it's visually pleasing, it also is just really, really good.
Okay.
Right? And I've been watching the OVA. They've been airing. The last OVA episode airs actually this week. And I just love the writing in it because it keeps the mystery and there's a sick underbelly to the show that I really like, where every moment you look at it and you just feel like there's something really, really fucking dark coming. And most of the time there is.
So it's not the typical sort of romance you'd see in these.
Oh, it's weird. Like, there's a romantic element to it. There is no denying it. But I also don't know how much. It's weird. You can clearly see that the two main characters are, starting to fall in love, right? Chisei and Elias.
Mm-hmm.
But it's never really the forefront of it, right?
Okay.
So the main thing is always Elias, how the fuck they ever pronounce it, trying to protect Chisei. Because Chisei tends to get herself in trouble.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, it's good, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. Yeah, and then just to quickly cover stuff that I forgot to talk about, Skate Season 2.
Oh, yeah.
Tower of God is finally getting a second season, and I will say this. This was the only webtoon, when Crunchyroll was on the adapted the webtoon shtick.
The Korean webtoons, yeah.
This was the only one that was good. God, remember when we first started recording and how much I killed a fucking
was it God of High School?
God of High School.
Yeah.
And then there is actually some more coming with Osama ranking.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, it's Osama ranking Yuki no Tararbako, and it's not considered a sequel. It's actually considered
spin-off.
I don't know what it is, but when you look at it, everything, when you go to Osama ranking, it's considered like a parent story to this.
Oh, a prequel.
I wouldn't say a prequel. Let's see, anime. Oh, it's just a special episode that will feature a story not in the original series.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and that's coming in next year.
Oh.
I still need to watch Osama ranking.
Somebody is starting their truck outside.
And also fucking, I'm sorry, Namoryu, but we are getting a second season of The Detective Is Already Dead.
No, thank you.
I I'm gonna watch it since I watched the first season, but like I'm kind of scared because as we're gonna start with the reviews now, Classroom of the Elite is such a fucking train wreck.
As I said before, I can't keep up. I feel like it's either higher on its horse or I'm dumb as fuck.
It definitely feels like it's high on its horse. And like I'm expecting the next arc to be good because I generally think it's the only thing that they've built up to. But listen to this.
Maybe it's both.
From Namariu, the Blu-ray and DVD releases of Classroom of the Elite Season 2 have been delayed in order to improve the quality of the draw.
The quality of the draw? Sorry? Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think the internet is being weird. Give me 1 second here. It might just be me right now. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Not sure why, but the internet's weird. Why is the internet being so weird? I don't know. Na na na. Let's see. Maybe if I. Huh. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Something's going on here, and I'm not sure what. Give me 1 second here, folks. Trying to how do I get to devices? How do we get to devices? Devices. Device manager. Da, 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 da. Na, 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 na. Do, 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 do. Okay, there we go. Uninstall that. Let's see if strange. I gotta connect to it. And just in case, I don't remember what this one was. What is this one? Is it this one? Somebody's phone number. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Half this episode is me just doing. That did not work. Okay, so then I'm going to have to do. All right. Huh. Oh, what the hell? Oh.
Welcome back.
Hi, I'm still recording, by the way. You cut out when you said something about they took time off for the draw.
I'm sorry. I need a moment.
Your what? Yeah, you're cutting out there.
No, sorry, my friend just said
You're cutting out again.
me something. Oh, God. Chewy, then it's on your internet, man.
Nope, I just came back.
My internet's. Well, then that's on you, man, because my internet's fine.
It wasn't my internet, though. It was my adapter, and I had to reset it.
Okay, now you.
No, now you're. What the heck? You're. What the heck?
You've been going.
I can't hear you. You're jumping in and out again. I'm not sure if it's your mic or.
Chewy, everything is fine completely. My mic is picking it up too.
Well, I don't hear it sometimes. Sometimes it cuts out.
Well, then that's most likely on you, since Discord's picking it up. I'm getting feedback and everything.
Well, just because it's feedback doesn't mean that it'll, like, doesn't mean it's just catching everything.
Okay, then. Yes, it's always my fault. Yes.
I didn't say everything was your fault. That first part was definitely my Wi-Fi adapter.
Anywho, what I was going to talk about before you decided to shit the bed. Anyway.
Wow. Yeah, I decided. No.
Yes, it's all you. Anywho.
Oh, it's all you. Okay, well, I guess I'll just go then. Bye.
Anywho, Namario
Get out of
pointed
this.
out that the Blu-ray and DVD of Classroom of the Elite Season 2 has been delayed.
Yes.
And it's just like, this whole thing's a fucking catastrophe. Like, it's such a fucking monumental catastrophe. It isn't funny, man. It really showcases what Kawa has become. We will butcher the living shit out of this just to get to season 3, where they can get to year 2.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's frustrating because, like, yeah, Classroom of the Elite Season 1 was nothing amazing, right?
Mm.
But it was at least a competent show.
Yeah, I don't really fully remember the first season that well.
But it's just, I don't know, man. It's really frustrating to watch because you generally expect better.
I mean, expect better from everything, but, just mean. I was buying.
Anywho, so that was Monday. Tuesday was Overlord. And that's probably the show of the... Wait a minute. Chewy, today's Monday, right?
Yes, Labor Day.
Oh my fucking god. Overlord has been airing on Mondays and I haven't even realized it.
Huh.
Let me just check, because I thought Overlord aired on Tuesdays. Check it. Novel series, anime, Overlord, season 4. Oh my god.
Are you okay?
I think it's been airing on Mondays this entire time.
Sounds about right.
Well, September 6th is a Monday in Japan. Oh my god. Because for some reason, episode 9 is already out.
R.I.P.
Anyway, I think Overlord is right now the show of the season.
Nice. I'd say it's pretty decent. I don't know why people are so... Okay, I see a lot of people going, oh, well, talking episode, blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's so boring. Is there, like, are we advancing anything? It's like, no, it's getting interesting. It's getting good. It's getting good. The talking bits are honestly, sure, they're talking, but like, it's advancing it.
But they were advancing the plot.
Yeah. So why are you bored with it?
Like, the whole point of, like, we're talking about episode 8 here. The whole point of episode 8 was Ainz pretty much trying to figure out how he's going to explain to them, hey, let's save humans, even though they all hate humans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And watching him freak out over the best part, and I mentioned this in the last recording that got deleted. The episode ends with Ainz. Oh, wait, no, what am I saying? For some reason, it said I didn't watch episode 9. Oops, my bad.
So there was no episode 9 today.
No. For some reason, Crunchyroll was saying I didn't watch it. Anyway, so the episode ends with the Vermilion Corpse guy.
Yes.
Coming in and defeating the Death Knight and the Death Warrior.
Yes.
And then it goes back to Ainz going exactly as planned. But what I love about how they are writing Ainz is you don't know if he's bullshitting or not.
Nope. Don't worry about us. By the way, we're getting some fancy symbols being placed on our faces. Doop, doop, doo, 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 doo. Did you disappear?
No, I haven't, you nugget.
Well, you went quiet, so I don't know.
Because I was replying to a friend.
Okay, well, I don't know. So tell me that you're replying to a friend.
Yeah, how about I tell you, just shoving a big old fucking stick up your ass. Anyway.
Wow.
That's the one thing I like about Overlord is how well they've written Ainz's whole he's actually an idiot, but nobody believes he's an idiot into the story.
It's the whole, yeah. I know what character trip we're going here. Yeah,
like we've seen it bits and pieces throughout the series, but it feels like this whole season has been generally focused on that.
It's the imposter. But
anyways,
nobody knows he's an imposter. It's like the shit. It's if you like, okay, yeah. If people kind of like this whole Ainz character thing going on here with an Overlord, check out Shadow of Eminence. I think that's coming out next season.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you too, Marcel.
Like I mentioned. Okay, we mentioned in the last thing how there was a little bit of sequelitis, but like next season, I do plan to check out that show.
I have to say it's more comedy-like-ish, but it's still, I don't know. It's funny. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next.
Anyway, next up for me was Made in Abyss. This is also one of the best shows of the summer. What?
What? It's Made in Abyss. All I remember is the girl melting scene.
Yeah, well, anyway, the whole series has been building up to Fopta's rage. So Fopta, as I mentioned, is the daughter of a girl with an impossibly long name, right? So Irumiyu, right? And okay. Irumiyu was a part of the group that went down to the Golden City, right? The Golden City was this, the best way to describe it is this legend, right?
Legend.
And the problem is when they get there, they can't get out. That's the thing about the Golden City is you can't leave it. Which makes me wonder how they're going to, how they're going to leave it, right?
Because they have to?
Well, no, you can't. The whole goal of Reg and
the main MCs was just to get
to the bottom, get to floor 7.
So they're just stuck there because then they want to go back. They haven't
really acknowledged it because the main story has been about Irumiyu and Fopta because Urumiyu, it was revealed that one of the reasons she was sent down is because she couldn't have children. They would be born and just die.
Mm.
And then sickness hits the group, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Urumiyu is given the Cradle of Desire, which is used to fulfill wishes. And what Urumiyu wants is to have children. Now, the children
Mm-hmm.
are born, and then they were killed by the leader of the group because it turns out eating them cured the ailments that was affecting everyone. And of course, during this, Urumiyu changes drastically to the point where you don't even recognize her. She's just a blob. And that goes on for a while, and like there's just children massacred, right? And of course, we have Vuko, who is tied away by the main just piece of shit. Right? And Urumiyu is able to give birth to one final person. That person is Fopta.
Right, yeah.
Fopta was essentially given all the desires of Urumiyu.
Yeah.
That desire being everyone in the village must fucking die.
Dark as fuck.
Like, straight up, she will break through and she will kill them all. And well, that's how the end of the last episode ends, because the guardian of the village was trying to kill Reg because he had a piece to Fopta, but in doing so, he was going to kill everyone. Right?
Yeah.
So Reg has to make the choice. Does he let him kill everyone? Or does he open the seal and let Fopta in? Because Fopta couldn't get in because there was a seal. The episode ends with Reg letting Fopta in. And yeah, Fopta would just kill the Guardian and essentially say that all the people there will not have forgiveness. She will not forgive her forms. She will not forgive how they desecrated her mother's skin. They will not forgive her intentions. And the episode ends with Fopta dive bombing into them, about ready just to rip all their heads off.
R.I.P.
So yeah, it's going to be generally interesting to see how people survive, because Fopta's going to kill a lot of people, and what I like about it so much is everything is justified. The way they treated her mother was just, it was disturbing. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
Main Abyss is kind of
the darkness, man. It's really good.
Darky if.
But yeah, so next up on my list was Devil's a Part-Timer.
Ah, yes. The when we're there at the beach and then they're like.
And we could also talk about the next episode since, well, I watched it.
I didn't watch it.
The beach arc always frustrated me because even when reading it, I felt it just ends too. It does nothing. Like, it introduces that that character, you know, the one who was like brought them here, and then she's just like, okay, here you go save them.
Oh, okay.
Like, don't you feel like that a bit?
What, like
they had this cool new character who could have been like, we could have had this nice moment, but it was just like, oh yeah, I'm actually this, and then the arc's over.
With the lady,
mm-hmm.
the owner lady, the tanned owner lady.
Yeah, the tanned restaurant lady.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of feels a little bit like a new Monster of the Week sometimes.
Yeah, and I honestly can't remember. Like, I've read up to volume, I want to say 7? 8, yeah. And she doesn't come back that much.
RP. All right. Next one.
Yeah, you said you wanted to go this quickly, and I'm trying to do it as effectively quick as possible.
No problem.
Next up for me is Call of the Night. And of course, when we recorded this, the new episode wasn't out. But I am going to talk about now the new episode, which was very interesting, but it still doesn't take away from my big complaint of where the fucking fuck are the parents?
Having a good time, okay?
No, like a serious question. Like honestly, it's like Call of the Night's not a bad show, but there are frustrations with it that are hard to ignore. Like, I always talk about suspension of disbelief, right?
Yes.
And it's hard for me to actually believe that no parent would wonder, hey, why is my high school child going out at night every day for the past 3 weeks?
Yeah. Marcel, because we don't know, you won't get a serious answer because we don't know.
Yeah, and to me, that holds the show down a bit.
Which is why I keep saying the problems have fun.
But anyway, this episode though was very good. Essentially, one of the older vampires was essentially scared to have a friend. She was so used to being this hypersexual person, and everything she thought, like she had this human friend, right?
Yeah.
And she treasured it because it wasn't this, love fest. But everything in her body says to her, okay, I can make him love me with this. Right?
Mm.
And in the end, the guy beats it into her mentally that, like, hey, you're my friend, I'm your friend, right?
Yes.
And it's cool. But again, I just can't. It's hard for me to look. But Denmachi time.
Denmachi.
The end of the first arc was great. The introduction to the second arc has been great.
Did the new episode just come out?
No, it came out last Thursday.
Okay.
Essentially, the whole arc is built around the fact that Rio, the elf, has apparently killed someone.
Yeah.
And while I have a hard time believing it, what makes this show good is that Rio is a character you could believe that would kill someone.
I mean, she's already has, so.
Well, no, like you believe that she could be a murderer, regardless if she already has, right?
But,
what I'm saying is that Rio is the type of character that you believe would do this, right? Even though the show with Belle and all them is just like, no, we don't believe she's done this. So it sets it up so it's less like you're expecting it to go one way, but it sets it up in a viable way that if it goes the other way, it makes sense.
I don't quite agree completely with that statement.
Well, what do you mean? Like, talk. Rather than saying you don't agree, tell me why.
Because, like you said, if it wasn't regardless of the fact that she already has, like, she had her whole, avenging her family.
Saying, is her nature was already built up as a type of person that you could see doing this. She's the personality. She tends to be a loner. She's quick to anger. Right? She has all the personality traits that if somebody pisses her off in the wrong way, she'd behead them. Sure, we already have the story about what she did in the past, right? And it does help. But what I'm saying is, even without that, you could still feel that, yeah, no, this is somebody who would actually do it.
I don't know.
And that's like, sure, it fits her backstory completely. But again, her nature is that where I don't think the backstory matters in this case of like, I could see her doing this without it because that's just the type of person she's been written as.
I don't know. It feels like she was reforming though a little bit, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe
well,
you
think
should.
about it like this. Say we removed like the murder part of her story, right?
The whole familia thing.
You could still write a story where somebody in her about her familia, maybe like her familia disbanded because of betrayal, right? And she could still have that same rage she had in this episode when she saw that one person, and she literally looked like she was about to huck her blade at his head. Like, there's still ways to write a good story that revolves around this, and I think they can do it. But I also think, like, the story itself is amazing. And I love how the show itself has set up a way where, yes, you firmly believe that she didn't do it, but the what if is there, right?
Yeah, but you can say what if for a lot of things. So I don't.
But no, like, I think the show has set up her character in a way that you could firmly believe that, yeah, she actually did kill those people.
I'm on the fence on that one. I'm still feeling that she's taken that's I don't know, the whole inexperience and everything.
We literally saw her in the last episode lose her fucking mind when she saw.
I know, but it's like
how can you sit there and say that after seeing her like literally legit lose her mind to the point it freaked out the guild lady with her? No, not the guild lady.
Hermes, yeah.
Like, it freaked her out. So, like, how can you sit there and say, oh, she's reformed enough? Her rate, you can do so many things in Rage.
You can, but
yes, I
don't
believe the story is going to say, no, she didn't kill those people. But the story is set up in a way where you could believe if the story turns out like that, oh, yeah, that fits her character completely.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. You can see that, but I don't know. I really still don't.
That Dan Matchy has set it up like that.
You know.
Anyway, Summertime Rendering, the best show of the year. Moving on.
Okay. Too bad it's behind Red Bars of Death.
The one thing I like is how well it uses time loops. Because, like I said, in the episode before this episode, we had a moment where the main character loops to save 2 people, but in the end, it cost him the life of 1.
And then the shadow saved him.
Yeah, and the shadow, who's supposed to be... Remember, shadows in this series are supposed to be emotionless people outside of Heine and Shide, since they're leaders. And it was the shadow that stopped him, because if he looped, it was over. And then the next episode reintroduced Ushio in a logical way. And it really brings back hope to the series, because I was wondering, okay, Shida and Hande literally have them in checkmate. How are they going to get out of this? And they got Ushio back in a logically written way. Anyway, Shadow's House. I am so... I don't know how to feel about Shadow's House anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's good. It's really good, but it's also just... It hasn't hooked me. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it hasn't hooked me in the way I was hoping it would.
Oh.
Like, I generally believe season 2 is very good, but it's just... it's not hooking me like I hoped, and maybe that's just because they had to spend a bit to redo it. Because I've mentioned this before, season 2 wasn't expected to happen. So they gave season 1 an anime original ending, and then season 2 happens, and it's just like, oh, we need to do something, right? So, like, it's very good, but it's just, I'm not hyped about it like I thought I would be.
Okay.
Kage-sama Shogi edition's good.
You just, yeah.
Aoashi began the game against Musashino.
Yeah, our last episode was right before that, right? It just happened.
I'm sorry, Chewy. I did not like the start of this game as much as I did. It's a bit too over the top right now.
Okay.
Like, I'm watching it, right? And I'm like, okay, the beginning was good. I liked how they're like, okay, they found a tactic to give him a good chance. And then Musashino replies well, but then it just gets a little ridiculous with douchebag. Like, his character nature in this episode was good. But some of the shit they had them doing is just like, okay, guys, let's take a minute. This isn't Haikyuu.
Haikyuu.
Like, they end the episode with the most ridiculous fucking goal I've ever seen. Where they have two players crunch him, and he somehow turns his leg into a giraffe-like nature, kicks the ball between the legs of Perm Boy, who thinks that if he isn't making pro by age 6, his life is a failure. He then runs straight forward, tries to unleash a curling shot from a horrible angle, and it's just like, okay, guys, that's a bit much. Let's tone down the anime a bit here.
No, more anime. And that's what I'm loving. Yeah.
Like, for the most part, I think the show has genuinely not been that ridiculous, right? Like, they've had its anime moments, sure, but it feels more grounded than, say, Haikyuu.
More anime.
Well, no, Chewy, I'm asking, like, it feels more grounded than Haikyuu in the sports itself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course, yeah.
But so this one was just like, it was a bit much.
More anime.
But anyway, Utoromeu, very good. They finished off the Nozuri arc, and I just generally enjoyed it. It's a video game adaptation. So there is,
yeah.
Of course, it's not going to cover everything, but it's one of those things where I'm sitting there and generally enjoy it. They're essentially covering the arcs where Oshtar goes to his friends' families to gain support.
Okay. Oh, there's another loud vehicle. Hello, loud vehicles.
And fuck Ruby, by the way. I hate this show so much.
Okay.
And then Engage Kiss and Licorice Recoil both had really strong episodes. So in Engage Kiss, it was revealed that Asmodeus is essentially trying to create a world where demons and humans live together by opening a gate and just throwing in about 100 demons, right?
Yes.
And remember how I mentioned in the previous recording that it turned out that Asmodeus... What's going on?
Keep going. There's just a really loud truck in the background.
Yeah, I don't need you to go on because it's kind of interrupted my flow.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but there's loud truck.
Who cares about it?
I can't hear you.
Anyway, Asmodeus is revealed to be Shu's mother. And, of course, that's dropkick number 1. Dropkick number 2 is that Miles, you know, the man who took in Shu after his mother and father were killed, is been working with Asmodeus this entire time. And the one thing I like about how Miles was written is that he is essentially in the same place as Shu. But unlike Shu, who's working with a demon, Miles kind of accepts it. He's like, I've made peace with it. My daughter is alive because of it. That type of thing, if you get what I mean.
Mm.
So, of course, Shu kills him last episode.
RP.
And, like, Miles wasn't, like, this inhuman person.
I thought his name was Morgan.
Miles Morgan.
Miles Morgan. Yeah. Interesting.
So then the next episode comes in, right? And at this point, Shu is, like, forgetting everything. He had to be reminded that his father was killed. So...
Sorry, I'm muting myself every once in a while because of the truck.
They track down Asmodeus, and they find out where she is, and it turns out the government's been working with her. And they're going to stop her, but of course, shit hits the fly, the portal opens. And you wouldn't believe how the portal opens.
I don't know. Tell me.
Shu's sister's been alive this whole entire time, and not only is she the one opening the portal, she's a half-demon herself and stabs Kisara in the back. And it's just like...
Yikes.
Is Engage Kiss's whole purpose just to, like, kick Shu in the nuts 90% of the time?
100%.
But yeah, it was good. And then Licorice Recoil is, like, amazing. Holy shit. I'd love to talk about the Takina Chisato thing and how Chisato's throwing away her life. And then she finds out that Yoshimura ended up wanting her to be a hired assassin the whole time. Since, you know, that's what he wanted, and that's why he gave her the electronic heart.
I see.
But she believed that Yoshimasu, or Yoshi, whatever the fuck his name is, the Allen Institute cunt, was this savior. And because of that, she developed a complex that she isn't going to kill anyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And she was told that.
Okay.
So now she's trying to figure out a bit. And during all this, Majima is just the fucking best villain ever, man. So the Licorice Recoil world has Japan being mostly peace because of the Licorice, right?
Yes.
But the Licorice it's not revealed to anybody. So, like, any terrorist attack, the Licorice, they deal with it. It gets covered up. Majima's whole goal is to reveal that. So what does he do?
He records everyone and tries to...
He essentially gives everybody guns. While telling them about it. So he's forcing the Licorice out into the open because they're going to have to deal with it. And it's just so fun. Anyway, talk about your pharmacy show.
Isekai Yakyoku was good. It's good. It's sort of went from oh god, I don't remember what I was gonna say from last. Basically, the latest episode that I watched was probably the best writing that I've seen from the show, and I was honestly surprised because sure, I like this story, and I like this the manga when I read it, and I'm liking so far how they're adapting it. But like, I wasn't really expecting them to, I don't know, make that last episode be as impactful as I thought it would be compared to the manga. And I think that's what makes, an anime adaptation, good and stand out, is that you make certain things, you adapt them better, usually, hopefully, or try to. So there was 2 episodes I think we passed by. After I think last review, we talked about how I think it ended off on his pharmacy being open and whatever, doing the cosmetics brand Medici and blah, 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 blah. I believe start of the episode, he goes with his father to that new piece of land the Empress gave him. like harvesting herbs and stuff there. And he like saves his sister from like drowning because she was playing in the ocean and stuff like that.
What an idiot sister.
Well, the little sister wasn't even in the water. She was just like on the edge with like the maid just playing in like, shallows with like barely up to ankles type of water. And then like this big wave takes her out into the ocean. And then the MC saves her by basically getting rid of all the seawater in this big old like big vicinity, and you just see in the middle of the ocean a big hole. Sorry. After that, it's just I believe the store gets attacked basically by like this runaway horse with the wagon full of like sediment and dirt. MC basically is touched by like the community banding together to help him out because he in the very beginning he was worried about how it wasn't reaching people, and it wasn't really. There was so much that was that seemed like that sort of alienated the common people and the nobles and stuff from even entering. But the community banded together and they helped him out, and he realized that now he's actually part of people's lives and impacting them. And then he gets lured out by some lady that tricks him into coming out into the countryside to go help her ill father, who turns out there is no ill father, and instead there is an inquisition of the religious order that surround him and the countryside there, and they use magic and stuff, and he nullifies all that, and it's like, oh, he's a demon and stuff like that. It's sort of evil spirit because witnesses of a boy with no shadow and him opening up the sea and stuff like that. And he somehow makes them understand that he's not, because of his mark on his shoulder that he got from the lightning whatever bolt in the very first episode. And they're like, oh, it's whatever, how could we be so blind? It's like is basically the god of healing himself, because one does not give a shadow because of if they're a being of light. Type of thing. It was weird. The head of the Inquisition like hurts himself like really badly, like tears and breaks his like, I don't know, it's like his ankle area. And MC is forced to basically do surgery, which he doesn't really do because he's a pharmacy in his past life. So he does it successfully, and guy's so super moved, he like becomes the bishop in the capital and stuff, and like starts to cover up all the stories of the evil spirit and boy with shadows, and like gives MC a really fancy divine artifact wand and a some sort of, I forget what it's called, some sort of magical item that will help him like have a shadow and stuff like that, so he can blend in a bit more. Next episode is where the writing was really impactful, is the story about the Pharmacist Guild. And the Pharmacist Guild was the people, or the guild master of the Pharmacist Guild was the culprit that sent that horse with the dirt and stuff to attack the MC's pharmacy. And this episode follows one of the members who's an owner of a newly opened pharmacy, and his daughter gets sick around the end of that other episode. At the very beginning, he starts to look doctors and stuff like that, and he bumps into MC. MC takes him into his pharmacy, shows him expertise, knowledge, respect, customer service, and like dignity of basically a human being, and treats the sickness efficiently, etc., and cost effectively. very, very cost effectively. Like basically, he said it was the amount for a baguette, a whole loaf of a baguette, basically, for the treatment and medicine that he gave his daughter who was sick. And the pharmacist is in such awe and like of the entire service itself there that he's really taken aback. He's not. He kind of doubts. He has well, I don't know really about doubts. It's more like he's in remorse on how powerless he feels a little bit in this case because of how the Pharmacists Guild is so against the MC's pharmacy and stuff like that, and how they were like putting ultimatums and stuff like that. Like if you go there, you're out of the guild, and if you're not part of the guild, you can't do business in this country or whatever, and or city or whatever. And yeah, he basically becomes the most humble person is like, you know, our ways are archaic and things like that. Like, why don't we just learn from MC? And he
so essentially, it's one of those things where it's changing the ways things are done.
Yeah, and definitely for the better, because you see the results. They see the results, right? And they're
it's one of those things where you can't ignore it anymore, right?
Yeah, and the Pharmacist Guild, well, at least the Guildmaster was only really against the MC because they were nobles or whatever, and it's like nobles are trying to run out the common people and the merchants and stuff like that, because like of the effectiveness of the treatment, but also the cost of it. Like it was very, very low compared to everyone else. And yeah, he got that opinion of that the pharmacist with the sick daughter, and he's like, you know, what about you and stuff? Aren't you being impacted one of the most because like you're just having a new just starting the new business and stuff like that? And he's just like, and the guy goes off about how like, why don't we just learn from him? Why don't we just ask to learn from him and like take the medicines that he's offering and sell them to people, stuff like that. This is like effective treatment. And like, and he like he calls everyone out. Like, have you been to a store? Have you seen this? Like, it is effective, it is efficient. He is, you know, knowledgeable in what he does, and he is courteous. And it's not costly. It's not costly to just save a child or save whomever from just taking some from a disease and just taking some simple medicine and something for that, right? And they treat it as betrayal, and they ransack a store, and he's absolutely just sobbing like a bitch at a store, and is like his kid and his wife are like inside scared. And yeah, MC just happens to pass by again and offers to take him into his newly created guild, which the Empress helped him out with. And the guy becomes the first partner of the MC's pharmacy and is able to reopen his store. And, you know, he was scared at first, but then he's like, you know, well, will people actually, you know, come? Anything like that? Will there be people waiting? And there's a big old crowd outside, and he gets moved. And he's like, yeah, I get to work as a pharmacist and sell the best medicine in the world, stuff like that. And he changes the name of his pharmacy, and it's really touching and stuff. Yeah, really cool. I thought that episode was really nice. Is that? I don't remember if that was the only one that I watched that you didn't watch.
I think that was the only one you talked about last time when we recorded.
Oh, Kingdom. Kingdom is great.
We'll talk about that in the Zatsu.
Oh, okay, but I watched the latest one, but you didn't watch it, did you? Are you in the fourth season or third season?
I've watched episode 1 of the fourth season.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, the fourth season. You just nice. Okay. I kind of just stopped watching Buchigiri. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It seems like it's going into Power Rangers, but not really Power Rangers type of thing. Yeah, I think that's it. I need a shit for this week or two,
Yeah.
3.
Well, hopefully the sound doesn't cut up when Chewy uploads it. Anyway, latest episode of the EHRPG Podcast, episode 60, apparently.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Oh, cool.
See you next week.
Okay.
Bye.
We have Wi-Fi cancel symbols on our faces, by the way. You can't see it. Bye.